The Sonic cinematic universe had a rocky start, but now is extremely successful with 3 movies, a spin-off, a 4th movie on the way, and potential for further projects. Originally starting off with just Sonic, each movie has gradually introduced more and more characters from the Sonic series. Some you may not even be fully aware of. That led me to making this video. Who exactly exists in the Sonic cinematic universe? Stick around to the end because there's probably 1 or 2 you weren't aware of. I'm gonna go in order of appearance in what characters we see in the movies. Sonic is fittingly the very first character from the games we introduced to in the movies, with the very next being Pachacamac from Sonic Adventure along with the rest of the Knuckles clan. In the same movie we are introduced to Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman as he is later called, and the post-credit scene introduces Tails, and that's all the characters introduced in the first Sonic movie. Next entry is Sonic 2, but before that there was actually a prequel comic called the Sonic Movie 2 Prequel. Clever, I know. This is technically our introduction to Knuckles. Obviously, we knew about Knuckles already because of trailers, but I wanted to bring it up because in the page of the comic when Knuckles is in Casino Night Zone, if you take a look at the background characters in one of the panels, you'll notice some very familiar characters. While not officially named, this is very clearly supposed to be Espio, Vector, and Charmy, which means Team Chaotix likely do exist in the movie universe. Now onto the second movie. Midway through the film, we are made aware to the existence of Gun. Also, during the movie when Sonic and Tails were in the Owl Temple to get the key to the Master Emerald's location, on the ruins there is a symbolic language on it which is said to belong to the owl species that Longclaw is from. The movie does not say this, but the language is actually the same language the Babylonians used from the Sonic Riders series, so it is possible that the Babylon Rogues, or at least the Babylonians, do exist in the movie universe. The Echidnas and the Owls used to fight for generations, and in the Riders franchise, Knuckles is actually able to understand the language, so this fits together nicely. Also, there are 3 guards with bird masks at the beginning of the movie which go after Eggman, who wear green, purple, and grey respectively, which Tyson has confirmed was an intentional reference to Jet, Wave, and Storm. The Babylonians are birds, so the connection to Longclaw's species does make sense. When Knuckles explains his backstory, we are also shown his father. Now while we never see Knuckles' father in the games, Knuckles is a descendant of the Echidna clan, so he at some point must have had parents, so I'm gonna count it. After the credits we are introduced to Shadow the Hedgehog. The next project is the Knuckles Show. Here, Pachacamac gets a name drop, which would be news to you that he exists if you didn't follow Tyson Hess on Twitter, and know that Pachacamac was there since Sonic 1. The series also gives us a very different take on who is widely believed to be Iblis, as he has a very similar appearance and Knuckles also gains the Flames of Disaster after defeating him. A clear nod to 06. I should also note that Iblis existing means Mephiles could possibly exist too, but I'm not too sure on that. The next time we're introduced to a game canon character is in the 3rd Sonic movie, where at the very start, after seeing Shadow, we are shown someone's hands playing Live and Learn on guitar, which we later learn is Maria Robotnik. In this movie we are also introduced to Gerald Robotnik. During the Tokyo scene when Team Sonic skydive down to fight Shadow for the first time, on a building in the background there is a picture of a purple-haired woman who most people probably don't know. This is a character called Proffesor Victoria, or Tori, who was first shown off in the very first Tails Tube and has yet to make an actual appearance in a game, but she is canon to the game universe. In the game, she was responsible for compiling together Gerald's journal, which is seen in Shadow Generations. Later, there is a scene at a restaurant called the Chow Garden, an obvious nod to the Chow from the games. Whether actual Chow creatures exist in the movie universe though is anyone's guess. In the post-credit scene of Sonic 3, Metal Sonic makes his debut, along with several silver-colored counterparts, which could be alluding to the Silver/Mecha Sonic models from the classic games. Considering how easily they were destroyed, I think this may be so. After this, we then get to see Amy Rose, a very big character in the franchise. Now, there are a few more characters whose existence is very up in the air due to the nature of their appearance, but I want to include them anyway. The first is Rouge the Bat, who the writers have been trying to work into the franchise since the first film, surprisingly. I wonder what that would have looked like. The other character is Big the Cat, who doesn't make any appearances in the Sonic movies either, but was planned to at some point, but as a skeleton. Yeah, I'm kinda glad they didn't do that. These two don't actually show up in any material relating to the Sonic films, but their brief considerations does make me think that they might exist in the movie universe. Maybe. There is also Santa Claus, who shows up in the Christmas special for movie 3. Now Santa is not specifically a Sonic character, and to be honest the only Sonic game he has appeared in was Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. So do with that as you will. And with that I think we've included everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and put a short markup here of who is confirmed to exist versus who maybe does. Characters like the Chaotix being shown in the comics, and heavy references to the Babylonians makes me think that it's likely almost every main Sonic cast character exists in the movie universe in some way, but just hasn't been introduced yet. I don't think I missed anyone from the games, but if I did, let me know in the comments, and take care.